Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be showing you how to recreate this blue eyeshadow look and also another blue eyeshadow look using the Beauty Bay Brights palette. So these will be two completely different looks. This one of course is very light and the second look will be much darker. So let's get to it. For this look I've opted to start with a really light eye base just to help some of the really lighter blue shades pop. And the first shade that I'm going to be doing for this first look is Daydream, which is the lightest blue in the Beauty Bay Brights palette. And for that I've started with a really fine liner brush because what I want to do is just first of all trace out an outline of the shape I'm going for, and then I can just build it up from there. So this is really useful just to help map out exactly what shape you want the eyeshadow to be in. So just a rough guide, because obviously I'm going to go back in and build up this shade anyway. So there's kind of my rough outline of the first colour I'm going to do. Obviously I'll make sure all the eye base is completely blended in, you know, once the look is finished. Now I've got the outline, I just need to take a slightly bigger brush. So I've got this one here. Just going back in with shade Daydream and just using the shape that you've created already, just go over the top in small circular motions so it will look much softer and you won't have any harsh lines. This shade is so pretty. It's like a baby blue. Definitely looks more baby blue on my skin than it does in the palette. So just keep going with that until you've got slightly thicker line all the way, and then just do exactly the same on the other eye as well. So I'll just get that done now. Now I've got the first shade down on both eyes and blend it nicely. I'm actually going to be using a white shade, and it's this one here, White Lies. And for that I've got a bigger fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take little bits of White Lies and just blend it over the top of Daydream. This is just reminding me of like blue sky, clouds, definitely the total opposite to how the weather looks outside at the moment. You don't want to take away too much of the blue because it is quite light already, but this white shade will also help to act as almost like a highlight as well. Again, just doing small circular motions. I don't want to lose too much of the shape. And then just the same on the other eye as well. Next, I'm going to be focusing on the outer part of my eyelid, and for that I'm going to be using shade Paradise, which is this slightly darker blue here. I've got a bigger fluffy brush this time, and I just want to keep within that shape I've created, but just use this on the outer part of my eyelid because I'm going to be putting the shimmer shade on the inner part. This is a really pretty blue. The second blue look that I'll be doing is going to be a much darker look. I thought I'd try and do two looks that were really quite different. So again, just using the shades that you've got down already as your guide, and you want to come out just less than halfway across your eyelid at this kind of slanty angle as well, just making sure that it's blended into the first shade. And there's the third shade done. So you can probably guess where the last shade on the top lid is going, and of course it's in this space that, you know, there's nothing there yet. And for this I'm going to be using the lightest shimmer shade from the Beauty Bay Brights palette, and this is shade Lagoon. And this just swatches so beautifully. Honestly, the shimmers in this palette are amazing. They're so soft and just so pigmented. For this I've got a flat brush so I can just pack this shade down. Sometimes it is just easier actually to use your finger than to use a brush. But the main thing is you don't want to use a brush that's too fluffy for these shimmer shades because it just sort of spreads them out and then you don't really get the shimmer. So right into the inner corner, all the way to meet Paradise on the outer part of the eye, and not quite to the top of the other light shades. It's just so you get that nice kind of seamless transition between the two, and then once that's all packed on you can just move on and do the second eye. And there's the shimmer shade all laid down on both eyes. It's definitely giving me some kind of under the sea feels. All that's left to do eyeshadow wise is just under my lower lashes, and I'm going to be going back in with the first blue shade that I used, which was the lightest blue, which was Daydream. And for that I've just got the exact same brush that I used before. I'm going to be doing this under the whole of my under eye, just to keep the whole look looking really light and, you know, not too heavy. So it's just the one shade just from the outer and into the inner, and then just the same on the other eye as well. And there's both under eyes done. All that's left to do now is just the eyeliner and mascara. And to keep this look feeling really bright and really soft, I'm going to be using a white eyeliner. I've got my MUA Makeup Academy eyeliner, and this is shade Snow Queen. And then I'll just be finishing the entire look off with a black mascara. And I've got my Rimmel Volume Flash for that. So just on the lower waterline for this. And lastly, just on with the mascara. And here is the finished look. I think this is a really easy blue look to do, and I'll give you a close-up just so you can get a better look. This look was super easy to do, and I think the white eyeliner definitely complements the lighter blues and obviously the white that we used at the top as well. The next look I'll be doing with this palette will be a darker blue look, so stick around for that. I'm back now for look number 2. I hope that you did enjoy the first look and I've inspired you to recreate it. For the second look, I'm going to be focusing on some of the darker shades of blue from my Bright palette. So without further ado, let's get to it. The first shade that I'm going to be going in with is actually the darkest blue shade in the palette, and it's this one here, Stormy Night. And for that, I've just got quite a small brush, and I'm going to be doing almost like an outline of the shape that I want just with this first shade. So starting from about third way into my eye, and then I'm going to work all my way out and then join it back down to my eye here, so you can probably envisage the kind of shape you're going for. And don't worry if this is a little bit messy, because I'm gonna get it all blended out anyway. You can see the shade coming together nicely now. These shades are so pigmented. It looks almost quite black from what I can see on the camera, but it is a really, really dark navy blue. So once you've got the actual shape down, just with small circular motions, that will just help blend out the product that you have got and just create a more softer look. So I find it easier to obviously do the shape first and then do this afterwards, rather than trying to do it at the same time. So just keep doing the circular motions until it's looking nice and soft, and then we just do the same for the other eye. Once you've got exactly the same done on both eyes, it's time to take a slightly bigger brush, and I'm going to be blending in another shade onto this, and it's actually the lightest blue shade. So I'm going to be blending in Daydream into Stormy Night that we've got down already. Just takes away some of the darkness of the shade, just the soft circular motions directly over Stormy Night. We'll just get like a little hint of this shade just slightly above the line of Stormy Night. So this is just for the outside of this shade. Don't worry if obviously you get any in here, because we're going to be filling that in with some other shades anyway. So you should see now, so this eye in comparison to this eye, the blue is looking a lot softer and just a little bit brighter on the top. I'll just get the same done obviously on my second eye, and now you can see literally how just adding that lighter blue shade has completely changed the look. It's still dark but without being too dramatic. Next, I'm just gonna tidy up where I've got the shape here. I'm gonna be using Beauty Bay Eye Base just to sort that out, but you could use a concealer to do exactly the same thing. So I'm just using a flat brush for this. I'll just finish this eye off, and then I will do exactly the same on my other eye. And now I've got both eyes looking even again, I'm ready to go in with the third shade. So back to the Bright palette, and this time it's this one here. This is Riviera, and this is sort of a darker shimmer blue. For this shade I've got a clean flat brush, and this will enable me to just be really precise with the shade. This is such a lovely shimmer. If you have this palette, you'll know what I mean. So for this one, you want to go about halfway across where you've got your eye base or your concealer, and obviously just cover up all of that white. Of course, get it all the way out to the corner, covering all of that base or concealer depending on what you've opted to go for. So don't worry about this line down here not being even, because we're going to be putting another shade here and then blending the two together, so you don't want a harsh straight line. And again, don't worry if it's a bit jaggedy or a bit uneven. Of course, just take exactly the same brush and get the same done on this eye. And there is shade Riviera on both eyes now. And lastly, for the top lid, just obviously to fill in this space here, and I'll be using another shimmer shade from my Beauty Bay Brights palette, and this time I'm going to be using Splash, which is more of a turquoisey shimmer than Riviera. Again, take a flat brush, pack the shade all over the brush, and just go in with that. You should be able to see, again, this is much more turquoisey and a little bit lighter than Riviera. You just want to cover all of the eye base. So now I've got the shade down, just to blend, just take the same brush, and then you can just do just some gentle forwards and backwards motions just to get the two shades on the lid nicely blended. And there is the top lid entirely done. For underneath my lower lashes, I'm going to be going back in with the shade Stormy Night. I've got the same small brush, and I'm just going to carry the shade all the way to the inner part of my eye. And there's both eyes looking even and all the eyeshadow completed. This palette is literally so great. You could definitely create so many different looks. I have already done a video using the purple shades, so definitely check that out as well. But lastly, just for this look, is just to do my eyeliner and my mascara. And I've opted for a black eyeliner for this darker blue look. I've got my Wet n Wild pencil. And for my mascara, I've got my Benefit Bad Gal Bang. Eyeliner's all done, and it's just helped to kind of fill that void between my waterline and the lower lash line. Of course, just the mascara last. And I've finished the mascara now and finished the complete look. I'll just give you another close-up so you can take a further look. As before, it's definitely a lot darker than the first look, but just completely different. Honestly, the looks you can create with this palette are literally endless, and with just a few blue shades, I've managed to create two entirely different looks. So definitely would recommend getting this palette if you haven't got it already. Please do let me know which look was your favourite. I have also already done another video using the purple shades from this palette, so please do check that out as well. I will link it in the description. I'll definitely be doing more looks with this palette. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you did enjoy it. If you did, please do give the video a big thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe if you are new to my channel, and I'll see you again in my next video.